Welcome to another interesting edition of Let's Talk Football, the most talked about football show on social media. On Let's Talk Football, we look at all the issues surrounding the most passionate game in the world, football. We look at the money in football, the action, and the controversy all around it. I remain your anchor, Wale Adebayo, saying, relax, fasten your seatbelt, and let's talk football. After a 12-week saga that almost rocked the stability of Chelsea Football Club, but on another pitch, Todd Bohely's consortium has completed a $4.25 billion takeover of Chelsea from Roman Abramovich after receiving government approval from all quarters. This has finally put an end to the 19-year reign of the Russian oligarch. The American Todd Bohely is the co-founder and chairman of Edrich Industry, and already has sports experience thanks to stakes in baseball and basketball franchise in the US. So this isn't entirely new to him. For the Chelsea fans, it must be noted that while the former owner, Roman Abramovich, was willing to bankroll the club losses and fund big money transfers, the Blues are more likely now to be run like a business moving forward, perhaps taking inspiration from Liverpool American model for successful ownership. Bohely will share control of the club with Clearly Capital, but is chairman of the holding company, making him the face of Chelsea's new era that you see always. On Let's Talk Football, we'll look at the 5 issues Todd Bohely and his consortium must tackle at Chelsea quickly if the Blues is to be regarded as title contender next season, if they intend to cut the massive point gap between themselves, Manchester City and Liverpool. And what are the issues? Issue number 1, defensive reinforcement. Issue number 2, kickstarting stalled contract talk. Issue number 3, resolving operational staff future. Issue number 4, continue to back the academy and women's team. Issue number 5, redeveloping Stamford Bridge. Issue number 1, defensive reinforcement. With Anthony Rudiger leaving for Real Madrid and Andres Christensen heading for Barcelona when the contract expires on July 1, those are going to be considerable losses, especially when you consider it in a wider context. Thiago Silva is sticking around for another season, but now he's 37 years old and cannot play every game. Club captain Cesar Azpilicueta could still leave after 10 years of service, with Barcelona cutting him. While youngsters Trevor Chalobah and Malanga Sarr cannot be over-relied upon. It is imperative Todd Bohely supports Tuchel with the funds needed to have a fully stocked defense to work with next season. Names are already being branded as a possible replacement to Rudiger and co in the transfer rumor corridors. Names such as long-term target Sevilla's Jules Koundé. It is anticipated Chelsea will sign Koundé, who can play on the right side of Tuchel's favorite back three, and probably they may be close to getting a deal done soon. Other defensive targets include RB Leipzig Josko Gavido, Villarreal Pau Torres, and Jose Gimenez of Atletico Madrid. Also, Brighton's Marc Cucurella is also on the shopping list of Blues as they search for a left back to compete with Ben Chilwell, even as Marcos Alonso is expected to leave the club this summer. In midfield, Chelsea are reported to be interested in highly sought-after Monaco man Aurelien Tchouameni and PSV Ibrahim Sangare. Tuchel is well stocked up front, but questions remain over club record signing Romelu Lukaku, who has been linked with a return back to Inter Milan. The question is, will he return back to Inter Milan? Point number 2, kickstarting stalled contract talks. Another priority they need to make decisions about quickly is the issue of contract renewal. The consortium board and coaching crew should be discussing the issue of which players to keep, which of them deserve new contract, and which players should be moved on. The sanction placed on the club by the UK government in March prevented Chelsea from negotiating new deal, so Bohely and his fellow teammates had to make up for lost ground. Anthony Rudiger and Andres Christensen have already taken the decision of their future out of the club hand by opting to run down their contract, with Rudiger joining Real Madrid and Christensen expecting to sign for Barcelona in the next few days. Cesar Azpilicueta and Marcos Alonso are both reported to be keen to return to Spain also, with Barcelona again said to be interested in the full-backs. Azpilicueta is Chelsea captain and has been at the club for a decade, But after winning every possible trophy on offer with the West London club Chelsea, Thomas Tuchel admitted last week that the Spaniard may feel a cycle is at its end. Both Azpilicueta and Alonso have just 1 year remaining on their contract, so Chelsea must persuade them to renew their deals or sell them this summer if they want to receive a fee. Giorgio and N'Golo Kante also see their deals expire in the summer of 2023. So meaning Chelsea have big decision to make over two of the players that were instrumental in them winning the Champions League last season. Giorgio is now 30 and has reported interest from Italy, while Kante is a year older. He's reportedly the club's second highest earner and started just 21 Premier League games last season. Renewing the World Cup winner's contract seems like a risk given his age and recent injury record. But can Chelsea face up the prospect of rebuilding their midfield without the ageless N'Golo Kante? Mateo Kovacic, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, Christian Pulisic, Mason Mount, and Callum Hudson-Odoi all have 2 years remaining on their contracts, meaning Chelsea facing their value decrease if they do not sign fresh terms soon. Renewing the contract of Mason Mount, Chelsea Player of the Season for 2 years in a row, will be a particular priority for Boehly's consortium. Reece James and Edouard Mendy may also be in line for new deals after establishing themselves as a critical component of the Chelsea team this season. Point number 3, resolving operational staff's future. Reports at the beginning of the sale process stated that Chelsea chairman Bruce Buck and director Marina Granovskaya will likely leave Stamford Bridge along with Abramovich once the club was sold. However, more recent reports and showing now suggest that both Buck and Granovskaya are now likely to retain their roles under Boehly's consortium. Keeping them in the Chelsea building will certainly help to smooth the transition between the owners. While Granovskaya, named as the best club director in European football last season, is seen as a highly respected figure within the sports circle. Blues supporters will also be keen to see club legend Peter Cech retain his role as technical and performance advisor. Keeping the senior and operational staff happy and retaining them will also help fast-track many transfer deals. Issue number 4. Continue to back the academy and women's team. Our vision as owner is clear. We want to make the fans proud, along with our commitment to developing the youth squad and acquiring the best talent. Our plan of action is to invest in the club for the long time and build on Chelsea's remarkable history of success. That is the word of Todd Bohely after the takeover was completed. Making this commitment would seem to be a no-brainer for the new owners. It was revealed by Chelsea Youth on Twitter last week that more than 25% of the England squad named by Gareth Southgate last Tuesday spent at least part of their careers in the Chelsea Academy. The likes of Mason Mount, Reece James, Fikayo Tomori, Tammy Abraham, and Declan Rice are all part of the Chelsea Academy's successful story. Also, Emma Hayes' women's team has been successful in their own right. A side have won the Women's Super League 3 times in a row and reached the Champions League final last season. So it is imperative the consortium must focus and lay emphasis on investing on the youth academy and women football. Issue number 5, redeveloping Stamford Bridge. Like with the request for Chelsea new owner to continue to support the women's team and academy, Abramovich made it clear that his successor will have to commit to the necessary development of the Stamford Bridge Stadium. So it is fair to assume that high on Boehly's consortium to-do list will be redeveloping Stamford Bridge. There's no denying Chelsea have outgrown the capacity on offer at Stamford Bridge, the Premier League's 9th largest stadium that has been left behind by the likes of Emirates Stadium, the Etihad Stadium, and the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Abramovich did have plans to modernize the ground but shelved them in 2018, citing an unfavorable investment climate. Boehly and his fellow investors must now plan to revive those plans or come up with a new solution. The role of Chelsea Pitch Owners, the company that owns the freehold to Stamford Bridge and is designed to protect the future of the stadium, adds another layer of complication to this whole issue. But definitely time will tell on this. As a Chelsea fan, we ask, what's the most important issues you think Todd Boehly and his investors must act on fast at Chelsea this summer. Let us hear from you. You can comment on the comment section on Let's Talk Football YouTube page. Watch and subscribe to Let's Talk Football on our YouTube page. Also follow and like us on Instagram on Mflux Visual, where an edited version of Let's Talk Football will always be there. Mflux Visual is the producer of Let's Talk Football. You can call us for sponsorship and advert placement. This program is open for advert placement and sponsorship. We can help you reach your target market with ease. Call us and do business with us today. As a sign off on this edition, I leave you with what I say. Whatever you know how to do best, keep doing it to the best of your ability. Never, ever, ever give up, because the sky is just your beginning. I remain your anchor, Wale Adebayo, sign out on this edition, saying God bless you and see you on the next episode of Let's Talk Football.